Hi and welcome to our last topic for our prelim, and that would be the lesson 4, factors in the development of the physical self. So for our objectives, at the end of the topic, you are expected to explore the different aspects of the self and identity. Second, demonstrate critical reflective thought in integrating the various aspects of self and identity. And last, examine oneself against the different aspects of self discussed in class. So, let's start. Physical self. So, there are factors in the development of the physical self. First factor is heredity. Second is environment. Now, in heredity, we call this one as nature. This is the transmission of traits or characteristics from parents to their offsprings. So it provides the raw materials of which individual is made up. Through the genes, hereditary potentials like physical, mental, social, emotional, and moral traits are passed down to generations. One of the examples for this one will be two blue-eyed parents will always give birth to a blue-eyed baby. So as you can see in the picture, the mother and the father had both blue eyes, so it is expected that their baby will be blue-eyed too. So that is heredity. Now, second is environment, or we call this one as nurture. So environment is the sum total of forces or experiences that a person undergoes from conception to old age. So it also includes family, friends, school, nutrition, and other agencies one in contact with. So the example for this one is the way our parents raised us as a well-mannered person and have respect with other people. So when we say environment or nurture, this is about the things happen to you from your birth up until your old age. Like for example, what is your religion, how well you were raised by your parents, if the environment that you have will be like, for example, lots of drunk people, shouting, fighting. So there are instances that the baby or that particular person will also become either drunkard, fighter, anything that is related to the environment. So next is the beginning of life. So let us first discuss how life begins. So life begins in fertilization. This is the meeting of the female sex cell and the male sex cell. So when there will be intercourse between the parents, then of course there will also be fertilization. So as you can see here in the picture, this one here with tails, this is the male sex cell, while this one here is the female sex cell. Now, let us discuss further about this one. So when we say gonads, the sex cells are developed in the reproductive organ. So as you can see here, like this. Then next is spermatozoa. So this is the male sex cells, so this is for males. As you can see here, there are long tails. Next is this spermatozoa is actually produced in the male gonads, which is the testes here. And then next is the ovaries. So the ovaries where the female gonads are being produced. So this is in here, the left and the right ovary. So the female sex cells is called ova. Then when the fertilization is done, the fertilized egg will be called zygote. So fertilized egg cell, and it contains all the hereditary potentials from the parents. So this zygote goes to the uterus and continues to grow during the gestation period of about 218 days or 36 weeks, or in the calendar months, that's 9 months. When life started, each parent contributes one sex chromosome to the offspring. So male parent pass either an X or a Y chromosomes, while on the other hand, female parents will always give the X chromosomes. So if your baby is XX, then that means she is a female baby, and then if it is XY, then that would be male baby. So when X chromosome from the father meets the X chromosome from the mother, it produces a combination of XX, which indicates a female offspring. So just what I've mentioned earlier. Then when father produces a Y chromosome and combines with X chromosome from the mother, then the result will be XY, which means male offspring. So both male and female chromosomes contain several thousands of genes. So what is gene? Now, genes are small particles in a steering-like formation. So the true carriers of hereditary characteristics of the parents. So that's what they said na if you have beautiful eyes, it came from your parents or your grandmothers or grandfathers. So that is based on your genes. So this is the true carrier of hereditary characteristics. So within the gene, there is a substance called deoxyribonucleic acid, which is the code of heredity. So this contains information and instruction about the newly created organism and programs the traits that should be inherited. So the unfolding of the inherent is called maturation. Now, what are the stages in the lifespan? So an individual undergoes definite stages of development. So in each phase, the child experiences certain developmental characteristics to prepare him or her for the next one. So this is the stages of human development. First is the prenatal period. In the prenatal period, that is the conception to birth. So this is during the 9 months of the pregnancy of the mother. Next will be infancy. So infancy is from birth to end of the second week. So this is from the day that a baby is born up until 2 weeks. That is infancy. Now, the babyhood is the third stage. In the third stage, it is the end of the second week to end of the second year. So this is from the second week of, end of the second week of the baby up until he or she becomes 2 years old. Now, the fourth stage will be early childhood or preschool age, and that is 2 years to 6 years old. This is the time where this child actually starts preschooling. Next will be late childhood or elementary age, and that is 6 to 10 or 12 years old, wherein the students are, the child is already in his or her elementary days. Next will be puberty or pre-adolescence, wherein it starts from 12 to 13 or 14 years old. Next is the adolescence. Adolescence is 13 or 14 up until 18 years old. Next will be early adulthood. Early adulthood starts from 18 years old to 40 years old. In the middle age, that would be 40 to 60 years old, and old age or senescence will be 60 years old up to death. So that is the stages of human development. Now let us talk about how to take care of your physical self. So taking care of my physical self, since the self is inseparable from the body, you should take very good care of your physical self. Whether you plan to gain or maintain weight, the most important thing to do is to keep yourself fit. So to achieve this goal, a rigid plan has to be made. Now, you should also consider doing balanced diet. Now, balanced diet is in eating a balanced diet means consuming the right kind of food at the right time and in the right proportion. So, one's food intake should contain the necessary nutrients essential for growth and survival. So, this practice prevents malnutrition and diseases. Now, to get a balanced diet, we also need to consider the nutrients that we will be intaking. So this is a table wherein we can check what are the nutrients needed for our body. So this is the essential food nutrients. So as you can see here on the first column, these are the nutrients. Second column are their functions. Third column are the sources. And lastly is the amount per serving whenever you eat your food. Okay, so the first one is the most important one, carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is for supplying heat and energy to the body. So it is important that every morning in the food pyramid, it is important that we eat carbohydrates in the morning, since in the morning we will have a lot of activities, like we go to school, we go to your work. So it's important to have carbohydrates for the energy. The sources for this one are starchy food like bread. We also have here rice, tubers, cereals, and dairy products. Then the amount of serving per meal should be 1 to 1.4 cup of rice or 1 to 2 pieces of corn in cob. Next is the protein. Protein is for building and repairing broken or worn out tissues. So the sources of proteins are legumes and byproducts, meat, fish, poultry, and byproducts, milk and milk products. Also, the serving for this one will be 1/2 to 3/4 cup or 2 to 3 pieces of meat or 1 glass of milk. Now, for the third one is the fats. Fats is for maintaining heat and energy for the body. So this is actually kind of similar to carbohydrates, though there should be limitation when it comes to fats or fatty foods. So this the sources for this one will be margarine, nuts, oil, butter, cheese, and byproducts. Okay, so just like what I said earlier, when it comes to fats, we need to do limitations. So this will just be 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil and its equivalent. Last is the vitamins and minerals. So this is for healthy skin and hair, as well as for aiding the normal functioning of the body. So the sources of this one will be all kinds of fruits and vegetables, internal organs like liver, gizzard, and spleen, and etc. So the amount per serving will be 3/4 to 1 cup of vegetables, 1 slice of big fruit, 1 piece of small fruit. Aside from the nutrients, we will also need water. Water is an individual should drink at least 8 glasses of water every day. So it allows the body to function efficiently. It also washes away waste to keep the skin clear and healthy. As we all know, when it comes to our body, we need to wash all the bad or toxic things in our body, and we wash it through our sweats. Then next is it would also with a high protein diet, the body utilizes the water also properly, so and avoids water retention. So make sure that you are always drinking water at least 8 glasses a day. So liquids such as coffee, tea, or milk should not be counted as water. So although they contain lots of water, there is also a buildup of caffeine, acid, or fats. Another thing that is important when having a balanced diet is your sleep. So sleep gives the bones, muscles, and the mind time to recover. An individual needs 8 or more hours of sleep a day. So one very important requirement for refreshing sleep is a firm mattress. So if one sleeps in a slumped and comfortable position in a mattress that is so soft, the body aches may develop. So you should not use too soft mattresses when it comes to sleeping. A soft and lumpy mattress should be replaced with a firmer one. Another way to improve the bed is to raise the lower part of the mattress so as to elevate the feet. It is an ideal position because the blood flows back towards the heart and away from the feet. And moreover, sleeping on one's stomach can help prevent varicose veins from developing as well as other circulatory problems. Alright, so that would be the end of our lesson. Congratulations, we are done with our prelim discussions. And please make sure to study well for our examination.